it's Dale here. Today I thought I would show you what I'm doing, what a lot of people would call slow stitch. Quite frankly, all hand stitch is slow stitch. It's just a trendy word, isn't it? So if you want to make a scroll or something that you might roll up, or something, you know, stitching in patches, and people doing all sorts of things like that. So I thought I'd show you what I've done. This is pre-felt, and you can see pre-felts underneath there, and I've put scrim, and if I look on the back, you can see how I've used my embellisher in places. So the scrim is here, and I've patched, so I use some of my scraps that are around, little bits and pieces that are to be added, and that's the scrim. You remember, underneath the embellisher I like to work the scrim so that it comes up on the top with little bits and pieces, just to get that texture coming up. And then I've just looked in my container of all my threads and gather up things that I think might match and go with what I'm doing. I've got some of that lovely, you haven't seen it very often, but it's a tubular, lovely one. So that's got to, just think I'll perhaps put that through somewhere. I might add another piece onto it, but also what I've done is I've used other bits of the pre-felts that I've cut in perhaps a circle shape, or I've also used wool tops, bit of wool here and there that I've got. So I look at my stash for all my stuff, but it's just very simple stitching. I've done a bit of buttonhole on there, some cross stitch using different size threads. So just think about what you've got. You don't have to have a lot of fancy stitches. I tend to use a lot of the same sorts of things. So there's buttonhole, there's cross stitch, there's just a little buttonhole in there, and I've used things like a little braid, a chain ribbon there, a thread there. I've used metallics. I've done some of my flower stitch feet, of course, because I've always liked to do those. They're good things to have, and then pull them out when you need them in the colours that you're working in, some bigger ones and some little ones. But if you look, you'll see that my stitches are, it's really, as I've explained many times, I really like variegated stitch threads. And with variegated threads, you get that great contrast. So you've got the colours that come around. A lot of these, this background is a colour called Federation. Or when we went to Turkey, to Morocco, I liked those colours because when I was there, it reminded me of this. So the Federation became a colour that we had sort of merged a little bit into Moroccan ideas. And then I found different threads. So like the Painter's 4 is a wonderful thread to stitch with, and of course there's the old magical gimp, which crops up, and big circles, little circles, things on top. So if you're just meandering through, just look at some of the sorts of stitches I've done. So I've put a bit of gimp scrim down there and stitched on it, looking for contrasts and things that go. Stitching here some more, I've sort of couched over some scrim that I've managed to shove in there. I've got a little bit of gimp there and a slightly raised surface. So I'm just doing what many people do, just looking at things that inspire me as I go along. There's a bit of velvet in here, and you sort of fray up the edges as well. So you look in your stash for what you've got, and I'm sure you'll have stacks of stuff. And I'm lucky enough to have all these things. I mean, the reason that I have the Thread Studio is because I needed threads, and so, you know, that's how it works. So I get things in that I like to use. This is a cotton that I've got thread through here, but it's a contrast between matte and shiny, and that's a very thick rayon, and that might be really good to couch down or to plait and to use somewhere along. So I'm going to grow, you know, add to this to make it grow. Linking your stitches so that all your sections link a little bit in some way. They're not just plopped there, but they've got some sort of linkage that makes them part of another part there. So that's, you know, just where I'm at the moment. And as I said, I'll cut some more. I can see I've got scraps to try and make it into that size, and it could roll up, or it could be a table runner. It could be whatever you want it to be, a book cover. It could be a little book that you'll be able to put pages and things inside. And things don't have to be finished in a row. You can do them however you like. So I hope that's just giving you a little idea of what I've been up to this week. See you again. Bye.